Okay, so I've done this in the past. It turns out it's going to be a long video, probably, but we'll see. Let's do another Google headline, where basically I go down the line, the Google headlines, and do a reading on what I see. Little quick ones, not deep dives. So, wreckage of Hawaii tour helicopter. 7 people aboard found. Okay, that's not something to do a reading on because they found them. Okay. Law professor calls out Mitch McConnell for violating his oath of office in top Kentucky newspaper. So, what we can get out of that? What is the consequence, if any, Mitch McConnell's actions regarding impeachment, or words regarding impeachment, because he hasn't done anything yet? What is it going to have on him? What's the consequence? We call him Teflon Don because he seems to be immune to consequences. So let's see about turtle wax. What's going on here? Magician. 5 of coins. Well, man of power being pushed outside. The Emperor. 10 of swords. 9 of pentacle. 5 of... Ooh, buddy. It smells very bad for you. The man of power being pushed out with the 5 of pentacle. What's coming is some security. What's here now is the foreign leader, so you're going to get some money from somewhere. But what is around you right now is total loss and defeat. As if one card didn't say it, the other one had to echo it. So 5 of swords, 10 of swords. Loss and defeat. Good riddance to bad rubbish. Man with mental issues dead after deputy involved shooting. Oh, that's local news. Domino's executive dies in snorkeling accident. Oh, Lord. That's sad. Right after Christmas, too. Well, prayers for the family. 10 biggest science stories of the decade. That's not a reading thing either, so let's move on. Blumenthal. Some GOP have very severe misgivings about Mitch McConnell's impeachment strategy. You know, we've done readings on whether the GOP is turning against Trump, and that has been played out. Yes, they are. So, are they also turning against McConnell? Because remember when I said I did that reading, and if it's true, then let's see, that one of the signs that the Trump was on his way out is that the Republicans are going to get a new leader. So are they turning on McConnell? So right in the middle we have 2 of Wands as preparation and possibility. 7 of Wands defending, Ace of Wands new action, 2 of Pentacles that is struggling to juggle, struggling for balance, and 4 of Pentacles. This is a card of trying to cling and hold on for dear life. So are they turning against him? Yes, because of Trump. There is Donald Trump crossing it all. The 2 of Wands is... it's a preparation. It's a looking forward. And he may not be like the center of attention right now, but he is going to be. There's defending and new actions. So once a little committee gets together, then yeah. And then there's something someone clings to, but it is hard to cling to it because there is a struggle for balance. So they are beginning to turn, but I don't think, because here's why I don't celebrate for that. I don't think they're turning fast enough. And not necessarily fast enough just for me, but that they're not turning fast enough to affect change for the impeachment, is what I'm saying. So let's see what else we got here. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Really? Sarah Gilbert, who is, she used to be on The Talk. It was actually her show. She is Darlene from Roseanne, is what most people might remember her from. She files for separation. Why is it not files for divorce? She files for separation from Linda Perry after 6 years of marriage. Okay, well, let's do it. That's bad. Let's see what happened. 6 years is, you know what's so strange? Is, all the gay couples I've ever known, that's how long they all last. It was 6 years. All of them. There's only one out of all the ones I've known in all the states that I've lived that are still together, like 15 years later. The rest, 6 years, done. 6 years, done. So, what happened, Sarah and Linda? Six cards. What happened? Just too many disagreements. Too many fighting, not on the same page anymore. Here's where I think maybe you don't really need a divorce. Maybe you just need time apart. Because it's just disagreements right now. I don't see like drugs or somebody spending too much money or nothing like here's the Queen of Pentacles, which is actually representative of both of you. But one is more of a doer and the other one is more of a thinker with the intuitive. This is the High Priestess. So I don't think it's cheating, but let me click on it. Let's see. We have a son together. The date of separation, August 13th. Good mercy. Irreconcilable differences. Yeah, it's just, yeah, I think you just need some time apart. Six of Wands, there is, because you are celebrities, so that's what the card is. Well, look, both people are celebrating. And then this is the Judgment card. Go away for 6 months. Don't talk, don't write, don't do nothing except through your child, because you have a child together, so joint custody, that's it. Don't talk to each other at all. And then recognize each other again. I don't think there's, because it's a lot of fighting and a lot of defending and a lot of just quarreling and bickering, and the both of you are tired of it. I think you just need to, I don't know, do what you want. Who cares? Be relationship advice out there. So let's see. Anguish and anger from the Navy SEALs who turned in Edward Gallagher. A member of the Navy SEALs team called him evil. Already did a reading on his mentality. That'll come out. Called him evil, called him evil, called him evil, called him evil. Okay, so let's see. Let's do, because his reputation is awful. Let's do what's next for him. What is next for him? Is he going to run for office of some sort? Let's see. Edward Gallagher. What's next for you? Yeah, Eight of Pentacles. We're the theme of work here. Devil right in the middle, surrounded by money. You're going to join an organization that is going to be caught up in some garbage. I think this might be more of public opinion because I don't see any justice cards or anything like that. But you do things that are completely... Because you have both the High Priestess Secrets and Seven of Cups Confusion, which means you're doing something behind the scenes, or you're doing something that has the appearance of impropriety, or the appearance of... what is that word? It just escaped me. Grossness, I'll just say that. Like, there's something salacious. That's what I was going to say. There's something salacious going on. There's something awful going on. And you are getting involved in this place. But the devil is right in the middle. Like, it's giving off a very strong energy. I don't really ever get that from the devil. But in this case, yes. Whatever this organization is, because there's the Five of Pentacles, which means this is going to be some... it's select. Mind you, the Five of Pentacles is about being shunned and thrown out in the cold, that whole thing. But this is select. Because you have to also keep in mind, in the Five of Pentacles is the two people out in the cold, right? And one of them has a crutch and the whole bit. But there's also a stained glass window in the back. And that's what your sort of secret society, that's what this is. And then the Three of Fire. You're all together. Doing something, though. So you may be, I'm going to leave it at that. Like I said, a little quick readings. So, Love and Hip Hop. Monique Slaughter reveals her true status with the show and spat with April Jones. I don't know who either one of them people is. Steve Harvey gets real about hosting NYE special. I care very little about Steve Harvey. Tiffany Haddish learns how to correctly light a menorah from fans. Long as we lit, we good. There's not a reading there, so... well, let's see, because I like her. So let's see what's next for Tiff. Like, she's got some movies and things coming out, so... She has a Netflix special. That's what I want to look at. Is she being paid fairly by all parties? She did an interview, this is not recent, but she did an interview with her and Kevin Hart. And this is before Kevin Hart had the accident. I think it was on the Breakfast Club that they had this interview. And I think Angela Yee asked, is she being paid a lot, or being paid as the same as Kevin, or something like that? And Kevin gave some bullshit answer, and she said, right after the question was asked, she said, I wish. And then he gave some answer about, we're getting her in the door, and we're doing this, and we're doing that. You know, you basically got to crawl before you walk. And, okay, I understand that because her name is not as big as Kevin Hart, so they shouldn't get paid the same. But I want to know, is she being paid fairly? Like, is she being paid way less than her male counterparts? Or what? Because she just brought a bunch of new young comedians with her. Flame Monroe is one. She brought one of the Wayans daughters. She's in the Wayans family. I haven't seen the special, but it's there. So are you being paid fairly? By Netflix, by whoever? Or are you being shortchanged and get it on the back end type of thing? Let's see. So, here's the thing. Fair is relative in this situation. Because I'm going to go, and I'm just going to say no. Because of the way the rest of this is being explained. The Nine of Swords is like anxiety. But the Four Swords in the Tower. The Tower is an abrupt end. The Four Swords is a retreat. A rest. So what she wants is to keep working. When Monique said no to offers, Her career stopped. The World and the Hermit. She wants to work. Maybe to be able to reach the world. You know, take care of her family because she takes care of her grandmother. And, you know, so she wants to be able to work, to put together her own projects. That way she can have more negotiating power. Like, so she's trying to build a thing. So it's not just that she's not being paid. She wants to build a relationship. And that way, once the numbers come back that they cannot deny, then she can request more. But I just think it's a shame she's not being paid the same. But she's trying to build something. So if you're okay with it, you like it, I love it. So moving on. Cindy Crawford and Randy Gerber look stressed out outside Kaya's apartment after Pete Davidson meeting. I don't know what the hell all that just said. Disney characters say tourists inappropriately touched them. Oh, Lord. Oh, mercy. Oh, mercy, he was arrested. Incidents come after a 51-year-old man was arrested in November after an employee portraying a Disney princess. Okay, because that was my question. It's like, if they got these big old suits on, then no, it had to be one of the princesses, because they don't have suits on, they have on dresses. A Disney princess told investigators he groped, oh my God. He groped her breasts while getting a photo taken. You nasty bastard. You should be arrested. Throw his ass under the jail. Everyone should feel safe at work. We encourage cast members to come forward. If any uncomfortable situation said, man, you so messed up a whole bunch of people day that day, didn't you? So, okay, there's a reading here. Because there's another part of the story. A 36-year-old woman who plays Mickey Mouse at the Magic Kingdom told investigators a woman patted her on the head, or on the costume's head, 5 different times, causing it to slide down and strain her neck. Because those costumes are not, that's not comfortable necessarily. Like, I was watching The View, and she was explaining, because the guy who played Big Bird passed away. And, like, the body of Big Bird, like, there's the body of Big Bird. He's in this part, and then the head is, like, controlled by something else, and he's, like, it's a whole thing, right? And so, this woman pats Mickey Mouse on the head. Now, the tourist family said they weren't aware the employee had to be taken to the hospital. Oh, good Lord, it was really bad then. Because this is a civil matter, not a criminal one. Because she was injured. And then, of course, they said, well, she barely touched him, and this and this and this. Nobody intentionally hurt it. Okay, well, you can't tell me how I feel, but okay. The family was confused whether Disney had a no-touching rule for the costumed characters, since they give high fives and hugs to the visitors. This is what I want to read on. Will they implement no-touching rules? Which I don't think so. But repeat incidents kind of make you want to go that way. But part of the magic in the Magic Kingdom is interacting with Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and all these people. So, but we have to remember, close the kids' ears, there's people in those costumes. Like human beings, like me and you people. Like they take them off. This is a job for them. They come to work, put that on, walk around, And you know, they have to be joyous, and you know, it's for anybody who's worked retail or with the public, just public period, hospitals, whatever. Human beings are very draining on other human beings, especially when you see hundreds of them a day. And so every time you interact with one, they take a little bit of your energy. And so you have to walk around and be in the happiest place on earth, and sometimes you ain't feeling it, but you still got to do it. So will there be a no touching rule? Because how do you tell a child they can't get a hug from Mickey Mouse? But don't get a no anywhere, so I think it'll still be fine. Knight of Cups, so we have maybe some rules in place, but it's like it's superficial. Like, here's the rule, but you know, as long as nothing crazy happen, then have fun. You know, I don't think you can touch the Disney princesses. I think what happens is you stand in front and then they can do the whole arm behind you or something if they want, but if it's a kid, but you can't touch them because they're not in the suit. But I think it's just going to be superficial for right now. There's the Empress, but there will be some new actions taken though. With the 3 wands and the Empress, there just won't be a no touching rule, because you know that would hurt business, I think. So let's see what else we got. Aloha increasingly means goodbye thanks to high taxes. So are taxes going up in Hawaii? Is that what you're trying to say? Who is Chrissy Teigen's favorite 90s day? Okay, whatever. What the hell? What does this mean? I don't even know what that means. So moving on. Okay. Pete Buttigieg is satisfactory to just, is that right? Is satisfactory to just 27% of black Democrats. A terrible number for an ostensible start. Rather. He's not going to get a majority black vote. Okay, well, a conversation inside the black community is they're not going to vote for Pete Buttigieg because he's gay, and it's black people are very religious, and religion, you know, and the gay community is just oil and water. So why is he not getting more of the black vote? I just think because it's going to somebody else. That's what I say. Like, you know, Pete Buttigieg is just not, he's not that guy. I mean, I'm sorry, he's just not. I can't keep trying to be impartial anymore. He's just not that guy. Why is he not getting more of the black vote? The support is not there because the page of Earth is where we start. This is his record. His record with black people is not the greatest. And so it feels as though when you were in a position of power, you were not in a position of cooperation. And so you went and searched for others, as in non-black people. So I think what's happening here is your record is speaking poorly for you, and then they feel as though you have disregarded them in search for other votes. And so They're not going to vote for you because they feel as though you're not for them. People are not blindly partisan. They vote for people who speak their language, basically. So let's see. What else do we have here? Brandi Glanville celebrates Christmas with ex-husband Eddie Cibrian and his second wife, LeAnn Rimes. Oh, that's funny. That's not funny, but Lord. Brandi Glanville, I think, is one of these housewife people. She was married to Eddie Cibrian, and then he cheated on her with LeAnn Rimes, and then they divorced, and then he got married to LeAnn. There's no reading there, so we'll keep it moving. Trump is already searching for his next Secretary of State. So, Secretary of State is who? Pompeo right now? So what's going on there? What's going on there? It's over. Death card right in the middle, the Lovers and the King of Cups. His support is falling. Knight of Swords and Queen of Pentacles. So there is a documentation, a something tangible with the Queen of Pentacles that is getting out of hand, so probably articles of impeachment. Donald Trump is flailing right now. So I think Pompeo is being caught in the crosshairs. But he was not necessarily the target. But he is not... Donald Trump feels attacked. And so Pompeo and all these different people are supposed to be his shield. And how can you be my shield if I'm still being impeached? You're not effective. And so this really doesn't have, I don't think, much to do with his job. There's a dishonor. I don't think it's because Pompeo's doing a bad job. I think Donald Trump just wants a change because things are not going his way. And so the people who are loyal to him now get another lesson of him being not a loyalist himself. Well, good for you. Michaels names its third CEO in 3 months. Michaels the, what are you showing Toys R Us? What is this? Do Michaels own Toys R Us? Because there's one Toys R Us in the world, I think. Because they had to file bankruptcy too, because first of all, Toys R Us is high as hell. You go in there, you're going to spend $45 on one Barbie doll. And increasingly, toys are not necessarily the thing kids go for. Not in the land of technology. And so, Barbie dolls and Legos is actually still holding strong. Lego is still doing good. But Barbie dolls and action figures and G.I. Joe and all this type of stuff, that stuff is so passé and old. Bicycles, you can get those everywhere. You don't need to go to Toys R Us to get a bicycle. Like, you can get a Barbie doll at the dollar store, and it's brand name Barbie doll. So, like, I think Toys R Us, that's what the reading is going to be about. It's going to go, not Toys R Us, Michael's might have to, no, Toys R Us. Let me go focus there. Toys R Us is going to go the way of Kmart and that other one, Sears, JCPenney's. But Michael's is a staple, I thought. Hobby Lobby is the king, and then Michael's is like right below. And then like Home Goods and things like that in Pier 1. But, because like Barnes & Noble beat the craps out of Books A Million and all these other little places. Borders. Remember Borders? Borders bookstore, if y'all still got those anywhere? Barnes & Noble is the king. Just like Netflix killed Blockbuster. So, is Michael's struggling? Will they be able to hold on, or are they going to go the way of Sears and JCPenney's and start closing hundreds and hundreds of stores? There's a Michael's down the street from my house. This is actually where I should have went to go get my shirt material, was at Michael's. But I never did because I'm not an arts and crafts person. Hard work. Queen of Wands here. And the Devil. They're having a, this is why the CEO is here. They're having a leadership issue. The leaders are, so Seven of Swords and the High Priestess is a strategy and then a secret. So here's my problem right now with Michaels and anybody else that is in this situation, which is also what's happening with Sears and JCPenney's too. You hire a CEO, president, COO. You hire this person, this person. All these people are upper echelon, right? They're all making bonuses and $1 million checks. They shouldn't be. If your business is hemorrhaging stores at a rate that you can't keep up with, they're hemorrhaging money. They cannot keep up with the ever-growing climate of Amazon and Walmart. Then what you need to do is stop paying all these top people all this money and focus on your grassroots. You don't need one person making $3 million and then one person making $7.25 an hour. Maybe this one needs to make $1.5 million and then trickle rest of it down to everybody else. But that's just me. But we have Death. No, we have the Chariot. The Chariot is the hard work. We have the Devil and then the Queen of Wands. The people at the top were taking way too much from the company. Your company's not bad. The business is not doing bad, but you do need a fresh idea. It's a strategy. And your fate still hangs in the balance with the High Priestess. So you have to either make a change, or the change will make you. It's up to you. We'll see. Because their stock went up. So, I mean, Michael is not out. I prefer Michael's over Hobby Lobby any day, so they're not out. Don't count them out yet. Don Imus dies at 79. You know what's bad about when you hear celebrities or public personalities die? Is it comes in threes. And so there's going to be 2 more right after him. The Washington Post has been really going on this Steele dossier, saying it's not holding up well. And I thought that it did hold up well, actually. So I don't really know what to ask there, so we'll move on. There's that echo that's bothering me. There's an old story. The Witcher, Henry Cavill, I think, I don't know how to say that name. has played The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt 2.5 times. Well, you should. I'll look at that because it's apparently there's some mixed reactions to The Witcher. The Witcher is a show on Netflix, but it is based upon a book which has a video game and now has a series on Netflix. And I seen the trailer, and what I was more concerned about was the voice, because he's playing a character called Geralt. Geralt has a very distinctive voice. It sounds like he swallowed a whole pack of cigarettes. It's like he has a very raspy voice. And I was like, oh my God, they're just going to have a person, I'll be like this the whole time. But no, he got it. He nailed the voice. The voice is perfect. The wig is a little ugly, but, you know, that's fine. And they didn't really get the eyes all that well, but that's fine too. Because you can, if I got the voice, then I'm fine with the hair and the eyes. So, will this be a success for Netflix or not? Because this was very highly anticipated. Because The Witcher is a really big deal. Like, a really big... I started playing the video game last year, but it's been out for like 900 years. It's a really big deal. And it basically speaks, it's the story of The Witcher is, he's a mutated person. He's a human being who has undergone Witcher mutations. So he has hyper senses. He smells and hears. He can like hear your heartbeat and all that type of stuff. So he's like a superhuman. But he hunts monsters, and then occasionally humans who do grotesque things. So he's a hero. But he has no feeling. He has no remorse, he has no sorrow, he has no feeling. They're void of feelings as a side effect of their mutation. And so, it's a really big deal. So Netflix, Six of Swords, that's good, transition. Eight of Cups, the Lovers, the Knight of Wands, and Justice. Now they have said there are going, yeah, son. So you're okay. They have said there's going to be a lot of changes for season 2. So we are moving forward, and that's actually a good thing, because you put something out that the general public has not seen, right? They come back with the feedback, and then you say, okay, based upon the feedback, let's make these changes. Netflix know what they're doing. People was trying to count them out because Disney Plus was coming. But Disney Plus, I didn't sign up for it because it seems very limited. So Netflix is still on the top. But there is some things that they are going to change, because there's abandonment of something currently for a new action. For a really good action, though. The Knight of Wands brings a good action. Then the Lovers and Justice. You will plateau in the streams, though. But it's not going to be a bad thing, because the diehards are going to really eat the hell out of some Witcher. And good times ahead. So season 2, I believe, will be a lot better. Now, mind you, I haven't seen it yet. I've been waiting on it too, and I still haven't seen it. But when it comes to stuff for like Netflix, because what I watch on a day-to-day, I have no TV. What I watch on a day-to-day basis is basically tarot readings. I watch pretty much anybody and everybody. After that, then I start maybe go to watch a few people play games, and then I go back to the shows that I've been watching since the 90s, like, you know, King of Queens and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and all that type of stuff. So I watch old stuff. So when new stuff comes along, I don't really hop on the bandwagon that fast. And then once I do get in the mood to actually watch it, like, I have to be in the mood to watch something new, which is why I haven't seen anything new in a very long time. There are a few things on Netflix I want to see, but like for instance, when I watch a tarot reading, I don't have to pay attention, because the person doing the tarot reading is explaining it. I don't need to know what the card looks like. I know what the card looks like. I do this all day, every day. So I don't need to look. But when you are watching something on Netflix, you have to pay attention because stuff is happening. And so I have to be in the mood to pay attention to something. Sunday service, choir, Kanye. So what's going on? Are you going to continue? Is this a lifelong mission? Or will you waver from your goal? Is this... Because you're putting out some albums. You're doing good with his church thing. So we have cooperation. So as long as the support is there, he will do it. What he needs to do is branch out more. It was good he went to the Joel Osteen thing. That's actually good because Joel Osteen's primary audience is white. And so he was able to sort of cross over into that arena. So that is good. That is what he needs to do, is cross over to even more. So maybe if he can get maybe even a Rod Parsley, or he can never get John Hagee. But, you know, if he got some more of those type of people on this too. There is something he wants to do. Maybe this is a film of something of some sort. That's not going to go over so well. But, or it's not that it won't be received well. It's just going to have a lot of crap involved trying to get it done. So maybe now is not the time to take on that project. But good luck to you. Just one dose of the HPV vaccine may protect against infection, a new study suggests. Whatever. A new study every 2 weeks says something about something. So let's move on. What do I say to my 7-year-old niece when she asks if she looks fat? Tell her yes or no. The Big Bang Theory, 10 parenting techniques. Okay, that's whatever. New mom has had it with unsolicited advice. Yeah, that's how it goes. Rite Aid stock has nearly tripled in 9 days. Well, good for them. Well, speaking of Rite Aid, will the opioid crisis get worse under the new administration? And new administration, I mean whoever is going to get reelected or elected in 2021. So new administration, opioid crisis. Will it get worse? Will it get better? So we start with the Seven of Wands. There is some action being taken, which means this is not the Trump administration. There is some action being taken, but it is very hard for this in particular action to be successful because of what it is they go up against. And fighting the insurance companies and fighting the pharmaceutical industry is next to impossible. They own a stake in pretty much everything. I watched Bill Maher the other day, and Bill Maher was not other day. It was, well, I watched it the other day, but the episode was from a while back. And he had like Van Jones and some other left-leaning people out there. And he asked them about the pharmaceutical industry and was saying, why don't they take more responsibility in the opioid crisis? And the answers that the left-leaning people gave were basically saying that people need to have more personal responsibility. Don't take everything. Just because your doctor gave it to you don't mean you need to take it. Now, here's the thing. If you're not a doctor, then you're pretty much going to the doctor to get doctor's advice. So if the doctor tells you you need Lipitor, then, or if you need some sort of something for pain or whatever it is that they give you, you figured they know what they're talking about. They went to school and let me take it. But what stood out to me in this in particular conversation they were having is that Van Jones is on TV. That other person is also somewhere in a magazine. All of these in particular places have an advertiser in the pharmaceutical industry. They cannot say, see, Bill Maher, he can say what he wants because HBO has no advertisers. But his show on CNN, Van Jones, has advertisers who are in the pharmaceutical industry. He cannot go on TV and say pharmaceutical industries need to take more responsibility in the opioid crisis. At the time, just like I said, this is an old show, but that's what he was parroting, is basically people need to take more responsibility. So the reason, I said all that to say this, the reason this is the Seven of Wands is because whoever is trying to produce a new action is going to be coming up against this wall that is just really hard to break down because pharmaceuticals are everywhere. But there is some hope, but the hope is also in big business. So, I don't know, it's like you have to turn to the devil to get rid of the demon. 4 Cups, 6 of Wands. So there is, focus camera. There is an offer being made, and there's some victory in it, which means there is a compromise. It's not necessarily a solution to the opioid crisis. It's just a compromise. We'll see what kind of compromise it is, I guess. Murkowski, courage is splitting with McConnell. Could be contagious. I actually already did a reading on that. But Murkowski. Is she a Republican? So why is she splitting from Mitch McConnell? Because Mitch McConnell called himself the Grim Reaper, and you didn't say nothing. Mitch McConnell, so many bills died on his desk, you said nothing. Mitch McConnell is working with Russian companies over American companies, you say nothing. Now you got something to say? I mean, I guess better late than never, but it makes me question who you are. Now you got something to say? Okay. Murkowski. Why now? Why now, Home Slice? Why not? So we got 4 Wands, Hangman, 8 of Pentacles, 5 of Wands, the Moon. You don't like Donald Trump, but still, why now? The 4 of Wands can also be some security of her own position. I think if you look a little deeper, she probably did some opposition research, or not opposition research, but some campaign research or something like that, to see maybe her state might go blue. Because this is her work, and then this is her change in perspective. So it has something to do with her position as well. 5 of Wands, there's the bickering and the fighting and the Moon, and so she feels as though the politics of it all was served, so she's not one of these Republicans who are saying that the Democrats basically ran roughshod over anything. She believes that they did their due diligence, and so now it's time for them to do theirs. And Trump obsesses over Pelosi, of course he does. Well, let's do a reading on this. What does Trump think of Pelosi? When he hears the name Nancy Pelosi, what runs through his mind? Is it hatred? Is it fear? What is it? Because a part of him might even be relieved that he can get out of office, but that part of him is not strong enough to resign, because he knows he's going to jail if he do. So, when he hears Pelosi, he thinks out in the cold. 5 of Pentacles. King of Wands. Ooh, that's actually quite interesting. 7 of Pentacles. 4 of Pentacles and 3 of Wands. He believes she has too much power. If she had too much power, you'd be gone already. She's in the House. She's not the Senate Majority Leader. She is in the House. Because she is the Queen of Wands. She gets the King of Wands. He believes she has too much power. There's the Seven of Pentacles. This is all the support she has, the people behind her, the seated support. Like, it's almost like this feeling of she could snap her fingers and then summon, House representatives. And then there's the Four of Pentacles, she cleans, and then there's the Three of Wands, she plans. And so he feels as though not only does she have too much power, she's treacherous. So, fear. He fears Nancy Pelosi. Fear. You hear Pelosi, you shake. Good for you. Tamron Hall's airport sweats cost $820. Who cares? Where would you want to? She got a job, she can pay for it. Aaron Rodgers, Danica Patrick buy $28 million Malibu villa from Robbie Williams. Who cares? Cardinal ousted on sex abuse claims, gave $600,000 to fellow clerics, including 2 popes, report says. Ugh, okay, so here we go. Like, this fan is too loud on this microphone, but it's hot as hell in here. I should just go turn the air on, but I don't want to get up now. It's winter time and it's hot in here. Ain't that sad? I hate Florida. So, child sex abuse in the Catholic Church has it now become a business with all this money being exchanged? Or, like, is there a deeper corruption here than just scandal? Is there a corruption? Like, you're paying people off to say nothing. You're paying people to look the other way. Not just looking the other way because, we're religious and we can do that. But, like, I gave you money to look the other way. Let's see if there's corruption here. So, Ace of Swords at the top, but there's Hermit here. The investigations, and then Clarity and Truth, and 2 of Wands. So there is preparation to dig deeper, which means there's something deeper to dig into. There's the Fool, there's the Cups, which means we have only scratched the surface. This is people who are in nurturing businesses, so these are your clerics or your doctors or something like that. We have only scratched the surface. So yes, 10 of Cups. Keep it in the family. So there is something deeper there. There is a corruption there. Might be some truth to that. Mars 2020 rover could pave the way for a manned mission. Will they put a man on Mars in the next 5 years? Put one on the moon first and then we'll talk about it. The moon is 3 days away. Mars is 8 months away. And then it takes you 3 years to come back, because you have to wait for the planets to align again. Because you can't steer rocket ships. You have to point it and then go. Okay. In the next 5 years, will we put a man on Mars? If you want to know if there's life on Mars, why don't you get some of that dirt and bring it back? And then look at it. There's something there already. Will we have a man on Mars in the next 5 years? Well, the Nine of Pentacles is about money. There's a corporation. So here's the thing. It's going to have to be privately funded. The governments are not going to do it. If the governments do it, it's going to be outside of the U.S. Going to be a collaboration between other countries. The Ace of Swords and the Nine of Wands. Here is a positive message, so we can yes. But a Nine of Wands, this is going to have to be a collaborative effort, which means you're going to have the right world leaders in order to do this collaborative effort. Vladimir Putin and a Democratic president are not going to get to the moon, let alone Mars. Now, mind you, we went into space on a Russian spaceship the first time because we didn't buy our own. Sputnik, that was Russian, wasn't it? So, let's see. FBI investigating British socialite who facilitated for Epstein. Yeah, I've done that one already. Snow in Southern California closes the interstate. Drake is still beefing with Pusha T and Kanye West. I don't care. What I learned moving from San Francisco to San Francisco from the Texas suburbs. I don't care. Coca-Cola says it doesn't have plans to enter the cannabis market. Who the hell asked Coca-Cola to make weed pop? Ciao. The mystery of Jedediah Duggar's living situation appears to be solved. I don't care nothing about Jedediah Duggar. That's so silly. Justin Trudeau did not get Trump edited out Home Alone 2. Donald Trump is in Home Alone 2. For those who don't know, Home Alone is a movie. Donald Trump is in it. When Donald Trump was just a real estate tycoon. And so, he was in that movie. He has now been edited out of the movie. The movie will never be the same. You're right. It won't. Okay, so let's do this. Is it just narcissism? Or is it something else that would make him... It's immaturity. Well, let's do the reading anyway. Somebody edits you out of a movie you ain't probably seen in 40 years, and you give a crap. Yes, because you're narcissistic. But let's see. What else is it? Is it just that or what? Immaturity. Page of Cups in the Hierophant. He will never change. And so when something comes along in the public sphere, information is passed that does not benefit him, he becomes defensive. He will never change. The Hierophant is a person of conformity. They're set in their way. Page of Cups is about emotion, but this is also a young person, so this is immature emotion. He will never change. Macaulay Culkin is grown. That's how old this movie is. Macaulay Culkin was a child. He has grown. He got a band and a podcast. And here you are crying over this will never be the same. Who cares? Well, you care. That's why. Sad thing. Lord have mercy, what the hell does this even say? This is why I cannot be a computer technician. Like, the people in my family think I know so much about computers because I can fix their issue. I have no idea what most of this even mean. Like, I can look it up, but damn. AMD, I guess it's a company. AMD Zen 3 CPUs allegedly feature 17% IPC gain over Zen 2 architecture. Ryzen 4000 Vimir CPUs to feature huge performance. What? This is why it confuses me when computer people talk. Because they do everything in acronyms and abbreviations. CPUs is like computer usage or something like that. Oh, Lord. Like Ryzen, I think is hard drive because I remember from buying my computer that it was a brand of hard drive or something. But Lord have mercy, make your head hurt just reading it. Quantum teleportation reported for the first time. I'm sure. Netanyahu wins party's leadership race. Did he win legitimately, or is this like their version of a gerrymander? Moving on. Bernie Sanders visits LA Times office. Why don't you do an editorial on him then? Grand Theft Auto 5, latest battleground of Hong Kong protest. Oh, I see. Grand Theft Auto 5, or Grand Theft Auto, is a video game where basically you play as a criminal. And you can play online against other people around the world. And people on mainland China are playing against people in Hong Kong. But the people in Hong Kong have, I guess, figured out that they can dress their character or their avatar as a protester. Like, you can put on black clothes and a mask and the whole thing. And so it's driving some actual tension between the people in Hong Kong and the people in mainland China because, you know, you're going through the world, because what it is, it's a game based upon, it's not really based upon cars, but Grand Theft Auto, you can really run up to a person's car and steal it. And so driving down the street, you can see another player. You can tell who the players are from the in-game characters. And you see another player and they're dressed up as a protester, and then you can attack them in the game if you want, because, you know, that's kind of part of the game. You can attack them if you want. So it's causing some problems online, it says. Oh, Lord. NYPD investigating attacks on Jews. This is why I said there is no them. It's us. So when you see people being treated like garbage at the border, that is you too. Because if they'll do it to them, they'll do it to you. All they need is the opportunity. Don't care if you're Jewish, don't care if you're Christian, don't care if you're white, don't care if you're black, male, female, it does not matter. They'll do it to you if you let them do it to them. Whoever the them is, it is you too. Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez stroll along the waterfront. Who gives a crap? Microsoft paid $26 billion for LinkedIn, then mostly left it alone. Yeah, LinkedIn is garbage, ain't it? Navy SEALs call him toxic. Yeah, we're seeing that. Trump just tweeted a QAnon conspiracy theory. Of course he did. Nicole Kidman looks loved up with husband Keith Urban at the beach on St. Okay. There is a very interesting, cute story. Nicole Kidman told on the Jimmy Fallon show, you have to watch it, where she basically wanted to date Jimmy Fallon back in the day. And Nicole Kidman went to one of Jimmy Fallon's friends and was like, yeah, can you introduce me to Jimmy Fallon? And Jimmy Fallon's friend called them and was like, hey, Nicole Kidman's at your house. And so he was like, make sure you get like some hors d'oeuvres or something. So he like picked up cheese and crackers or something. And he went there and basically ignored her the whole time and played a video game because he didn't know he was on a date with Nicole Kidman. He thought, she was just over there. Fans of The View want Meghan McCain fired and Ana Navarro hired. No, duh. That's not going to happen, but let's see. That'll be the last one. Meghan McCain, are you on the way out? And Ana Navarro's on the way in. Let's see. There's a victory and a celebrated person here in the middle, I think. Like, she's not going anywhere right now. She's still under contract, so she's still being commissioned to do something. So she might have 3 more years, 3 more seasons, 3 more shows. I don't know how their contract stuff works, but she's still under contract. But they do have an offer that they are making to someone outside. This is a man here also who is in charge, but she will eventually move on, and Ana Navarro seems to be somebody they want to move in. Yeah, we'll still see if that's going to happen, because Ana Navarro also has to be a willing participant in this too. But Meghan McCain is on her last leg. 1 hour, 9 minutes. Oh, good Lord. Good night.